Here we go. It's lunch therapy. Hi, everybody. Today, Joel Marshall here. We're here for lunch therapy. We've got Jared Leto meme. We've got step chickens. We've got Cult of the Hummingbird. Come on in. Obviously, we need some therapy. All right, so great to be here. We're in the breathing segment here. I need to breathe. Here we go. Take in a deep breath. Let it go. Doing 3 breaths. We do 3 breaths at the top of the show. This is the second one. Take it in all the way into your lungs. Hold it. Let it out. Pamela Lopez is here. Jeff Lohman is here. All the way from Oman. So good to be here with you. We're going to take in another breath. Deep breath. All the way into your lungs. All the way down to your feet. Hold it. I'm holding it. And let it out. Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good today. It's Thursday. Todd Lee is here. He's got it here right after here at the stream. Hi. Great to see everybody here on this Thursday. I want to tell you, Jeff Lohman is going to have another trivia night. It's happening next Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific time, I believe. I'm going to have a trailer for it. Just kind of teasing it right now. Everybody's got to come. Send me an IM or a PM or whatever it is on Facebook and let me know if you want me to invite you. A couple other things that are going on. Tomorrow is Interview Friday, but that poster there, Princess Bride, has nothing to do with that. That is actually a movie that I have seen, but I cannot remember seeing it. And everybody always talks about how great The Princess Bride is, and what a wonderful movie that is, and they always quote it, and I have no idea what they're talking about. So our movie assignment on Lunch Therapy is to watch or rewatch The Princess Bride, because we're going to be investigating that. I am going to be seeing it pretty much for the first time. And maybe I won't like it. I don't know. Maybe there are some fans out there. Jeff Lohman says, don't fear the trivia, because a couple times, he's had people that were afraid that the trivia questions were too hard. But it's fun. It's just fun. Couples in the past have done better than people that are single in the trivia night. He has now made an algorithm to even the score. So if you're a single person and you come in to trivia night, you can be competitive. There's Mary Marks. Hi, great to see you, Mary. I've got something that I'm going to show you later in the show that is just for you, just a delivery for you. Trivial fears. They're trivial fears. Todd Lee says, inconceivable. Exactly. And Ganell says, Princess Bride rocks. Hashtag, yes, this is a cult. And yes, Ganell is referring to the Cult of the Hummingbird, which is hashtag Cult of the Hummingbird. We're putting it on all of our memes, all of our posts. Hashtag Cult of the Hummingbird. There is a website, cultofthehummingbird.com. It is just a fun thing. We like hummingbirds. In fact, I've got some hummingbird videos for you. Maybe you can hear. There are some birds nearby. Next thing, though, I do want to tell you really quickly, and this will become even more true later on. But right now, t-shirts. Yeah. People have been asking, You know, hey, for lunch therapy t-shirts, hey, I'll buy one. Hey, lunch therapy t-shirts, they're available. If you go to joelmarshall.com, there's a link. It's an Etsy store. I set it up. I don't know what I'm doing, but we're going to have t-shirts, everybody, t-shirts for everybody. There's all kinds of different colors. Some have hummingbirds on them, some don't. Now, we're going to take a little bit of a relaxation break. I'm getting all hyped up. Yes, Ganell has sent us another stunning video of his hummingbird feeder. He's the one that has the dual hummingbirds. He has the dual hummingbird feeders. He now is moving. Oh, we got, yes, and this is when I check in on the chat room. Gumball 267 BR. Hi, Gumball, if you can help us out on Twitch, we need to get 50 followers, right? To be any kind of, to be relevant at all on Twitch. So if you guys can follow. And of course, John Leisenring is here. There he is. He's from DC. Mary Marks, one of my favorites. I imagine she's talking about The Princess Bride. This is great because I'm looking at the chat room here. And donate $10. Okay, Gumball, I love it. I love it. I never know what that means. This is, you know, there he is. I'm not going to say his name. Sup there. Jeff Lohman, still talking about trivia night. You know, he's in Oman, so it's like late there. He wants to tell you there's 20% handicap for people that are single. And Camel Lopez, of course, is going to get herself a t-shirt. I can't wait to see these shirts. And, you know, John Leisenring says, hi, Cam, miss you folks. Love John. It's great to have John here. John is someone that I met in, originally, I met him in the Cannes Film Festival, and he was so Myth Club. He was so Myth Club. He was so Purple Pants. We have a video of us riding on the carousel in Cannes, just being idiots. There's a lot of stories from that trip with John Leisenring in Cannes. We are going to illuminate them, but not on the show today. So we got to tackle India still. One more live feeder cam. This is I got to pop myself on the screen here. Where am I? Oh, there I am. Oh, I'm gone. There I am again. So this is a live feeder cam. This is a live feed of a live feed. These are birds that are just having a ball. Or it's not very many, but they're there. If you'll give me another chance to check the chat room. I will sub if you sub me. That means I'll subscribe to your channel if you subscribe to my channel. Heck yeah. Heck yeah. YTM. I'll make a note. YTMETRICQ. I don't know what it means, but I hope it's not a dirty word. YouTube, yeah, sure. These are Twitch people. I've been watching Twitch to try and figure out what the heck is going on there, and they got some good shows on there. I wish Joel would turn himself into a cartoon bird for this scene. Well, I will try. I will try because I am here to facilitate the fun. I have the cartoon bird. I've decided to go back and just take a look. Jared Leto, Step Chickens. I just want to explain to John and others out there that don't know about this. We want Jared Leto to be on the show because he has a cult called the Echelon Cult. We're very interested in what that is. We're very interested in how he pronounces his name. And I watched a clip on Conan O'Brien. He says Leto, but some people insist that it's Leto. Insist. There's the hummingbird, animated hummingbird. I'm not quite turning into it, but I'm trying, John, I'm trying. Okay, this is moving along quite well. It's 1,000 degrees here in Los Angeles, and there is no wind. So soon I will start sweating profusely, I'm sure. But first, I want to tell, this is for Mary Marks. Mary Marks, I saw something, a posting that you made on one of your famous channels of an Arlo Guthrie song. And I believe it was Alice's Restaurant. I believe it was. here for those of you who may not know. Maybe some of you Twitchers out there have no idea who Arlo Guthrie is, but now you know. He's this guy. He wrote a song called Alice's Restaurant, which is one of my favorite songs. The Alice's Restaurant Massacre. Nell just bought a shirt. And Mary is here, and she says, yes, yes. And I don't know. I mean, maybe I told this to you before. But Alice's Restaurant, you know, it's an anti-war song. It's a war protest song. It's about how he didn't get drafted and how he was avoiding the draft. And it's a really, really long, epic song. But the main refrain is just, you can get anything you want at Alice's Restaurant, excepting ours. Just walk right in. It's around the back. Just half a mile from the railroad track. You can get anything you want at Alice's Restaurant. So this is a great song. It's a great song. It's a rebel song. It's fun. But he says this thing in it where he says, let me tell you about the town of Stockbridge, Massachusetts. And so I knew this song from when I was younger, and I was trying to become a busker in Pike Place Market with my friend Kevin Sherman. We used to sing that song, and it was just such a great thing. And yeah, he starts a movement with it, exactly. He's going to start a movement. Yeah, you got to listen to this song. I can't play it here, but I am going to play a little bit of Arlo Guthrie to give people an idea of who he is. Here he is with Johnny Cash.
Well, Arlo, I just like to say that I'm glad you could drop around our way and do a little picking, a little drumming, a little singing.
Well, thank you, John. Just let me say it was mighty nice for me to have you over to the show. But before I go, something you ought to know.
What's that?
You can get anything you want. You can get anything you want at Alice's Restaurant. Walk right in, it's around the back. About a half a mile from the railroad track. You can get anything that you want at Alice's Restaurant.
Okay, listen, when you get time, I'd like to have you back. Okay?
Bring my phone and I'll be packed.
Bring your guitar.
I'll bring my guitar.
In your car.
In my car. Can I bring my dog?
I got to let this play because it's too good.
Roll. Just set on the log.
Yeah, we'll do a monologue.
How about your cat? Bring that?
I'll bring my stash.
Hey, you can bring anything you want from Alice's Restaurant.
Anyway, yeah, that's awesome. I know that a lot of you appreciate Arlo Guthrie, and also appreciate that's Johnny Cash and Arlo Guthrie doing some improvisation. He says he's going to bring his cat. He says he's going to bring his stash. Super fun people. Of course, Arlo Guthrie's dad was Woody Guthrie. This Land is Your Land, right? It's a classic. That's a classic. It's true. So I'm driving around in Stockbridge, Massachusetts. Years and years ago, I had been living there doing Shakespeare. Driving around with my friend. We're just, driving. I had this old Subaru. And so what I did is I thought to myself, let me tell you about the town of Stockbridge, Massachusetts. And I thought, you know what, I'm in Stockbridge, Massachusetts. I wonder if Arlo Guthrie lives here. And so I turned a corner, and I saw this. So in the song, Alice's Restaurant, they have a church. They live in a church. And they have Thanksgiving in this church. They took out all the pews and they live in this church. And that's part of the story that he tells. Long story. Really good story. But I turn the corner while I'm thinking about Arlo Guthrie, and I see this church. It has a big ribbon on it. I don't know whether it was a red ribbon or a purple ribbon. It had this big ribbon on it, and I just thought to myself, you know what? I bet you Arlo Guthrie lives there. So we pulled over, we go up to the door, we knock on the door, and Arlo Guthrie opens the door. There he is. I mean, it was like a surreal moment where I'm telling you this story now wondering, did that even actually happen? He had a big, bushy, gray mane. And I thought, most of the time when you do that kind of thing, you pop in on some kind of celebrity, which I didn't really think that was what was going to happen. Or maybe I did. Maybe I had such certainty that it just happened. And he opens up the door and he's like, hey. And he's very much like he was in that video. He's like, how's it going? And I'm like, I just thought maybe that you lived here. And he said, yeah, I do. Come on in. And at that moment, I got so scared. Not that he was going to Harvey Weinstein me or anything like that, but I got scared that perhaps, I don't know, I'm timid. I guess I got timid. And he sat down, and it was like a church in there. He sat down and started playing the guitar. Yeah, he started playing the guitar and singing, and I'm sitting there, and we're just sitting there like in shock, kind of in shock. And I don't think I said anything after that. I just sat there and watched him play the guitar. And then after a while, I was like, well, thanks so much, Arlo Guthrie. And then I left. And that was an experience. And I'm wondering right now, did that actually happen? Yes, I think it did. I think it did actually happen. So that's for you, Mary Marks, little story. Were you sitting on the Group W bench? Yeah. So for those of you who don't know that song, go out there and listen to it. There's also another fine classic Arlo Guthrie song for you Twitchers out there to listen to, which is called the Motorcycle Song. It goes, I don't want a pickle. I just want to ride on my motorcycle. And I don't want a tickle. I'd rather ride on my motorcycle. And I don't want to die. I just want to ride on my motorcycle. And that one also has this long ass story involved in that and is worth a listen. So yesterday, we were talking about India, and I was talking about what it was like first time I went to India, which was in, 2000. Yeah, it was awesome. I went to India in 2000, had no idea, just to recap, I had no idea what India was like. I had no necessary desire to go to India. I had a new girlfriend. She happened to be planning a month-long trip to India with her mother, and she invited me. I said, no, I cannot do that, absolutely not, because that's my nature. I tend to, it's like a placeholder. You say no, because you can always go back on no, but yes, it's much more difficult to go back on. And why should you? Why should you? Say yes to the universe. So anyway, I said no, but then I asked my work, and then they said no, and then they said yes. They all came in dressed in saris. And you know what's funny is Pam Palmieri, who was somebody who was in the chat room yesterday, she was one of those people. I didn't even realize it until now. I have known her. She was my boss back then, but I have known her in many different entities. Like we all went to India together a couple of years ago, and I forgot that she was one of those people. So that's kind of cool. That's the thing about this lunch therapy community. People pop in, people pop out. There's stuff we talk about, and they're like, hey, I remember this. That's fun. It's fun. It's a community. The world is a community, and we're in it. Fun. So I'm in India, and we get off the plane. We had all our luggage. We talked about that yesterday. We had all our luggage. We get in this car, and they're driving down the highway. We're driving down this dusty, dusty highway, and there's all these cars coming, and it's night, and I'm like, what is going on here? And all of a sudden, I see the largest elephant that I have ever seen in my entire life coming at us. I have never seen an elephant. It was tall, really tall elephant. Coming at us in the dust with a man up on the top, just a tiny little man up on the top. And just, what is going on here? That was when I realized that I was in a place that was completely different from where I was from. I was like it felt like a different planet. Giant elephant coming, and I'm like, and it just walks by. Not really. Nobody cares. I mean, can you imagine if there was a giant elephant on the I-5 or 5 or whatever everybody calls it, Interstate 5? I'm always so worried about, this is great. I don't know what this is. PayPal me. This guy wants 75 cents. Follow. That's cool to have that person in the chat room. I don't know. But continuing on, can you imagine on I-5, the 5? In Seattle, they call it the 5. Here, we call it I-5. Or vice versa. I don't know. I forget. So can you imagine if there was a giant elephant walking down the freeway? There would be an APB. It'd be all over the news. They'd be chasing him down. It'd be like a huge deal. This was just another evening on the highway in India. So we got to Delhi, and we went and met these people who were the friends of Kamala and Liz, who were the most incredible people. A couple of the most incredible people I have ever met. Harjeet and Sunny are their names, and they were ambassadors, Indian ambassadors. I didn't know, but ambassadors, that's what they do. They're super cool. They just invite you to their country, and when visitors come to their country, they are ambassadors to the country. Or when they are in some other country, they are ambassadors to their country back home. So they were our ambassadors, and they're the most amazing people. One of the things about Sunny that's hilarious is he says, it's great because I'm giving you my view of India from my weird American person view, and he gives his views of America from his Indian person view. And one of the things that he says that Americans do is they say, wow. Like, I would never think that. Somebody say, well, what are Americans like? Well, they say wow a lot. And so he would say it all the time, wow, Joel, wow. And I just, one of those constant source of entertainment and fun. And Harjeet is just the nicest person you've ever seen in your life. And I told you that story about how Kamala and I got lost in Delhi. And in Delhi, the way that it seems like chaos. It seems like complete chaos. This is a clip from a documentary film by this German guy called Munich in India. And it gives you an idea of how they drive over there. Yeah, it's like, let me find a video. This is everybody's just kind of piled into the street. This looks actually more orderly. And that's kind of the way it is in India. Like, you don't get in a line, like I was saying, you don't get in a line to do something. You just kind of all pile in there. And that's not rude. That's not rude. That's just the way it is. And everybody kind of pushes and shoves. And as an American, you're like, whoa. So as an American, you're walking around just being kind of like confused and offended because it's just there's different kinds of behavior. Like, for instance, they wouldn't take warm showers. A lot of times they would not take warm showers. And I didn't realize that I was so addicted to warm showers. They oftentimes would just give you a bucket of cold water and you just like dump it on your head. And I didn't like that. I didn't like that. And so I said, is there some way I could, have warm water? And they were like, yes, absolutely, because very accommodating. They had a cord that plugged into the wall and a wire and then a metal rod. And they're like, yeah, just plug that in the wall and stick it in the water. And to me, I was always a little paranoid when I got there at first because I'm like, oh, this person's trying to kill me. They're like, this American, he wants hot water. I'm just going to give him a cord and have him stick it in there and electrocute himself. That'll be one less American. But that's not what they're thinking. I think we're so used to people being out to get us. Maybe it's because of our dog-eat-dog society that we just think, everybody's got an angle. You're in New York City, you're walking down the street, if somebody comes up to you and starts asking you a lot of questions about you, you're going to be like, whoa, 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 what are you trying to do? Take my wallet? What the hell's going on here? And if they do take your wallet, it's like, well, you were a sucker. You're a sucker. So in India, somebody gives you a rod to stick in the wall, to put it in the water, you're thinking, electrocution soon. So the same thing in the street, people come up to me, hey, they're so interested. Do you speak English? And they start trying to speak English with me, and I'm thinking, they're going to steal something, but they're not. They're actually interested. And I think that's the big difference between, at least at this time, between Americans and Indians at the time. Was Americans were always trying to get something, trying to get to the next level. It's like we're playing a video game or something like that. And in India, they were just being interested. So my girlfriend now, my wife Kamala, she says, let's go to a soothsayer. A soothsayer. In these temples, they have these guys that sit on the floor and they tell your fortune. And they just look at your palm and they tell you what's going to happen to you in your life. And my grandmother was a tea reader. People would come from all around in Pittsburgh. And she was Italian, and she would read their tea leaves and tell them what's going to happen. So naturally, I'm terrified of this. I do not want to have my fortune told. Maybe it's because it's the American thing. We think we're so in control. You Americans, I said this yesterday. You always are like, I just want to tell you this and let me tell you that. Well, you're dead now, so shut up. That was from that movie that I was talking about yesterday, Meaning of Life. No. The Americans are always like, I am in control of my destiny. What I do has a cause and effect. And that's what happens. It's just cause and effect, cause and effect, cause and effect. So anything, that's why very, very wealthy people that made, a lot of money, they think they know everything. Because they think the fact that they have so much money is because they did something to be better than other people. And that's one of the problems. That's one of the problems, right? So, I don't want to know what's going to happen because I want to feel like I am in charge of my own destiny. I am picking my destiny. I am the pick of destiny. Jack Black reference. I don't know why I'm on these weird references these days. So I pick my destiny. I don't want anybody to tell me what's going to happen. So, of course, I say, no, I don't want to see a soothsayer. And, of course, I go. So Kamala and I, we find this temple. Harjeet finds us this person who is a soothsayer, Indian soothsayer in this Hanuman monkey temple, and he's sitting on the floor. And we go back there, and we're filming everything. I have a camera in a pouch, and I just take it out, and I'm going to film. This guy is going to tell Kamala her fortune, her future, and I'm going to film it. Immediately, the guy's like, no. And Ajit's like, no, you can't film. You're not allowed to film this thing. And you know how we are, Americans. We're like, you tell me I can't do something? I am going to do it immediately. I'm going to do it twice. So I, put my camera back in the pouch, but I very stealthily keep the lens out and I turn it on. Yeah. So now I'm filming this guy, and Kamala puts out her little paw for him to read. And he starts telling her stuff that is totally true. And Harjeet's translating it. And he says, you had the best education. Your mother loves you. You have a mole. Told her where she had a mole. And then he starts telling her future. And at this point, I am terrified. I'm so terrified, I don't even remember what he said. I think it was all good. But I was terrified. And then, of course, they said, you're next. And Harjeet said it. And I was like, feeling kind of like obligated. And so I put my little shaky paw out there for the soothsayer to read. And he said, he looks at it, gets all quizzical. I'm like, oh, he's going to say I'm going to die tomorrow. But he looks at it and he says, you had some very bad stars. Harjeet tells me that. He says, you have some very bad stars. A year ago, something horrible happened to you. And he was right. Something horrible had happened to me exactly that day, a year ago, which I will not get into because it is just too horrible to recount now. Maybe for another day. He said, something horrible happened to you a year ago, but those stars are gone. So I'm like, okay, they're gone. You don't have to worry about that anymore. And that was a big relief. And then he told my future. He told my future. He said, Joel, you are going to make a lot of money. You're going to make a lot of money. Not soon, but in the future. You're going to make a lot of money in the textile industry. This is why I didn't want to go. What does that mean? I'm going to make a bunch of money in the textile industry. I've been thinking about it ever since. You're going to make a lot of money in the textile industry. I'm looking at the chat room just for some guidance here because I don't know what that means. I still to this day don't know what that means. I know that I'm selling t-shirts, but somehow I don't think I'm going to make a lot of money selling these t-shirts. Maybe I just need to have faith, right? Yes, you guys are on the same page. You guys are on the same page. It is finally happening. Spinning yarns. Maybe he was spinning yarns. Spinning yarns. I love this. I love this. John, I have no idea what that means. Textile industry, exactly. Textile industry? Well, you are a fashion expert. You're right. I guess this just shows you do create your own destiny. You do create your own destiny. Somebody can define it however they want. But you can't rely on their definition. Your definition of the textile industry is your own. It can be whatever you want it to be. You can get anything you want at Alice's restaurant. All we need now is Leto. It's true. All we need now is Leto because I'm saying Leto. I say Leto sometimes. I say Leto. I got to stop worrying about it. Right now, we can get anything we want at Alice's restaurant. Let's see what Kamala says now. If you could make this shirt, if you could make a shirt, this is like the one you wear on the show, like one with a moving background, you'd become a billionaire. Yes. Yes, if I could. So the shirts are many different colors. I don't have these colors because this is all, green screen. Even a texting expert. Texting industry. Yes, I love it. Okay, I better move on. Better move off because we got to get back to the life we're leading. I'm so glad that all of you are here today. I'm gonna end the show with a dance break from one of my favorite bands. You've seen him on the show, Matt Kite, and Mary Beth Kite, his wife, is singing, and they call themselves the whole Bolivian army. As soon as I find it. Bye.